It's time for Talking Sports, Birmingham's only weekly sports update to put you in the game. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Now, here is your winning action host, Keefer, and the legend.
Hey, it's Saturday morning. It's Talking Sports. Kip and the Legend joining you as we do every Saturday at 10:30 here on ABC 3340. We are pumped up for a huge day, not only on the fields, but on the racetrack. And Legend, I am honored once again. I know it's always a big thrill for you and me to have, we're here in ABC 3340, which is certainly a long-standing tradition in this community. And they have the most iconic weatherman probably in Birmingham history in James Spann. We got the most iconic sportscaster in the history of this city here, and the godfather, the founder of talk radio as we know it. Even before Paul, even before all these Johnny-come-latelys, this is the guy that did it. Herb Winches, welcome back to Talking Sports. We are thrilled to have you.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here, and thank you for the invite, Kip. And, of course, not only do we follow football, but you know me well enough because I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, that I grew up around Churchill Downs, so I'm a big horse fan. And not only do I love the Triple Crown, that's a special time of the year in the spring, but when we get to November, there's nothing better than a Breeders' Cup. It's at Santa Anita on the West Coast. $30 million at stake over the next 2 days. And, of course, today, being Saturday, the big event is today with the Breeders' Cup Classic.
That's right. Legend, I've got you kind of hooked on horse racing now. I told Herb, Legend start off with just a little bit of the slow stuff. He's all in the trifectas and everything now. So yeah, I know you're pumped up for the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, it's an honor to be with Herb and to be with you today. I'm pumped up. I'm just going to follow you guys' pick. I got a pocket full of money. Get your money out. Get your pencil. Get your paper out, get ready, write these picks down, win big today.
Well, as we talk about the races, since you followed the Triple Crown so closely, and we did spend a lot of time on the show on that, you'll recognize a lot of these names, so we want to hear your input and just what your instincts are, because you've seen a lot of these horses run. Herb, let's start with the big races today. Well, first we've got to mention that Birmingham Greyhound Racing is bringing
our
you
sponsor. Don't forget them.
That's right, and this is the spot.
I'll be out there.
Looking forward to that, and it is going to be great. The first Breeders' Cup race is at 1:55 today, but we also got some new products that folks can get involved in. Herb, have you had a chance to get out and see the
I haven't, but
machine floor?
I'll see them this weekend for the first time. Great. I understand they look great, and everything is going well, and I'm told that they've been very, very popular so far.
Yeah, it's Legend, as we've been talking about, this is a way to present racing in an entertaining kind of a casino style format, which is very popular, of course. And if you haven't tried the machines yet, get on out and do it. I know you've been spending a lot of time observing the action out there, and what are your impressions?
Well, these machines are off the hook, ladies and gentlemen. If you ain't been out and played these machines, get on out. I tell you, these are revolutionary machines. I've never seen nothing like them. Never seen so many old women in all my life. I tell you, they are out there. They are loving these things, Skip. The racetrack is popping. It is the place to be.
Well, it's going to be great. All right, let's get to the Breeders' Cup because that's a big deal today. We had 5 races yesterday. We got 9 today. All the superstars in the sport are in Santa Anita, as Herb mentioned. And Herb, let's focus on 3 of the most notable races of the day, beginning with the Dirt Mile, which has attracted quite a group of horses, including the rematch. Omaha Beach got the better of Improbable leading up to the Kentucky Derby. As everybody remembers, Omaha Beach was the horse in the Derby that was favored, and the night before was scratched out with a problem with his throat. Really unfortunate for veteran trainer Richard Mandela, but he's back in the Breeders' Cup in the mile, and I know you've been looking at the races. Improbable, the favorite, Omaha Beach. Who else stands out to you, or do you have a sleeper?
There isn't a sleeper, and I'm one. I do not like to bet chalk.
Doesn't like it.
I don't like it at all. I'm always looking for value, but when you see something that's clearly obvious, and Bob Baffert has been talking about how well that Improbable has been working and breezing out, he's just been all over TV bragging about the way this horse is breezed in the morning. He thinks he's ready. I think it's a 2-horse race. That's one that I'm not keen on because I just don't see value. One's going to go off 8-5, maybe 7-5, and that would be Omaha Beach, and the other one in probably at 2-1. So there's no value there for me, but that'll be an exciting race, and I know there's no guarantees in life except death and taxes, but I want to tell you something. One of those two are going to win the dirt mile.
Sounds great. Legend, you remember those two from the Derby tournament. Who did you like better, Omaha Beach or Improbable?
Well, I'm a Bob Baffert fan, and if he says it, I believe it. You know, he's like Merle Lynch. You know, if he says it, just stop and listen. I like Improbable in this, but I'm with Herb. There's not a lot of value in this race because the top 2 horses definitely look like 1 and 2. So I'm gonna go 1 and 2 with the all horse on the 3.
All right.
Kip.
Sounds good. I'm going to give you one sleeper in that race. The 9, Diamond Oops, is a big closer, and he's going to be a price. I kind of like him to get something involved late. Not to win, but to hit the board. All right, let's go to the sprint. That's always one of the marquee races of the day, and this one probably is as good a sprint field as we ever had.
I didn't handicap. I'm a turf guy.
Okay, that's right. You are a turf man.
So I did the Breeders' Cup Turf, which is the big race, 1.5 miles, and that race goes off before the Classic.
All right, well, let's talk about the turf. I got quickly, the sprint's got Matoli, and it's got Imperial Hint, and it's got Firenze Fire, a lot of real big stars. In the turf, that's a big race, one of the biggest of the day. Who do you got?
Well, I think in that race, everybody is going to be on, no question about it. They're going to be on bricks and mortar. This horse is a monster on the turf. He's never gone 1.5 miles, but he's been out 12 times. He's finished first 10 times, and he's finished second twice. So he's never been off the board. So they're going to bet this horse off the board. Yes. That's why I'm moving elsewhere. I like an Invader coming from Europe in this race, studying very closely. I like Old Parisian, another one that can go this distance. As a matter of fact, on a good turf over in Europe, his last race, he won it quite convincingly. Again, I'm going to take a stand against the favorite in that race, Bricks and Mortar, because he's never been 1.5 miles. I'll take Old Parisian, probably going to get 6 or 7 to 1, and then I'm going to put some numbers underneath it and try to beat Bricks and Mortar.
Sounds great. We got to go to break. We'll catch the Classic right when we come back and get into football. It's Talking Sports, Kip and the Legend with Herb Winches on this Saturday. Welcome back, everybody. It's Kip and the Legend with our special guest Herb Winches on Talking Sports on this Saturday. Hope you're ready for a big football day. We're going to get into football in just a moment. We have to tell you that we're delighted to be on board on this Saturday and get you ready. Birmingham Greyhound Racing, our sponsor, already open and ready for to bring you the ultimate day of entertainment. So get on out there. Legend, all this horse racing talk, I can see you over there working your bills, getting ready.
Well, I tell you, got a lot of money to win today on horse racing, a lot of money on football today. If you are a sports fan, this Saturday is a day that you are so looking forward to, Kip.
Exciting.
This, real quick, we're going to get into the Classic. This segment is sponsored by Kimco, one of the most versatile companies you'll ever deal with, and tell folks a little bit about them.
Well, door-to-door, Kip, if you have a business, they handle everything from door-to-door, plumbing, electrical, even housekeeping, anything in your business from door-to-door. Kimco covers it, 334-356-2005. Give them a call.
I've used them at my restaurant at Lake Martin.
How about that?
They do a good job.
I was going to give you a plug later on, but we'll get into that. The landing at Parker's Creek, that's
Great
the spot.
place.
Herb will be back open, around Memorial Day?
No, April.
Oh, April, that's great.
Late April. All right, let's get into the big one.
Let's do it.
This is it, the Classic, $6 million. By the way, it's a $30 million weekend.
Good grief.
Of course, we had those great 2-year-old races. They've broken it up this year. All 2-year-olds are the future stars of racing. That was yesterday on Friday, and today we're going to go to the 12th race. It's a biggie. I like the fact it's a relatively controlled field. There's only 11 entered because it's a very tough race. McKenzie, obviously, is going to get a lot of play. Again, Bob Baffert. And he made a change. Mike Smith had been riding this horse.
Got the axe.
But he did not do a good job in the last race, and he got beat by 2 lengths. But it was at Santa Anita's. He was trying to get him accustomed to the track. But Bob was so upset, he took him off this horse, and he went for Rosario.
Who's an aggressive rider, right?
Very aggressive. Joel Rosario is going to be on this Mount McKenzie. I'm thinking this horse is morning line 3 to 1, probably going to go off maybe 2 to 1, 9 to 5, whatever. The other one that's going to get a lot of play in this race, I think, is Code of honor. He's breaking from the outside post. Now, it's a mile and a quarter. It shouldn't impede him whatsoever. Rail is not good at Santa Anita like it is most places, but he's got a good spot there. This horse closes a little bit, can set the pace, be right off the pace. This horse is going to get bet down. Johnny V is aboard there. Probably going to get off at about 3-1. But again, I'm looking for a little more value. And a horse that's really creating a lot of buzz out at Santa Anita this week in all of his breezes and workouts has been Vino Rosso. This is the number 10 horse. This horse in the morning line is at 6-1. I think he'll go off at 5 or 6-1. It takes so much money to move these numbers because you have such great horses that everybody kind of moves around.
And the betting's worldwide.
It's worldwide. That's why it's called the International Breeders' Cup. They come from all over the world. So again, this is the horse that I'm going to settle on here. I think there's value. Of course, I think you got to put McKenzie in Code of Honor. But my long shot pick that I want you to put in if you're paying a try or a super, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I like the 9 horse Mongolian Groom. This horse goes off at his morning line 12-1. Probably go off with all the betting on the 3 there at about 12, 15-1. So that's value.
And he's the horse who beat McKenzie in their last race.
Beat McKenzie in the last race and made Bob mad about that. So
sure did.
Again, I'm going to take Vino Rosso, number 10. That's my pick in the Classic today. Good luck to all.
Trained by Todd Pletcher, who's won a race or two in his time.
Just 1 or 2.
Yeah. Real quick, we'll wrap this up. This is a day that's really unprecedented in terms of your ability to hit some big, big tickets.
Oh, my gosh. Some of these fields are absolutely huge. 13, 14 full fields. That's what you like. That's where you make the money. And my advice is always, if you're going to bet a chalk, you got to put some big numbers underneath, or you can reverse. There's a lot of way to play it. Exactas, trifectas, superfectas, got it all. Place to go, of course, is out at the Birmingham Race Course because that's where the action is.
First Breeders' Cup race today is at 1:55. Get on out there and catch all the football. Let's go to football. Legends Top 10. This has become one of the most popular segments on the show, and I see there's been a little adjustment at the top.
A little adjustment.
Herb, to catch you up, Legend has been in love with LSU all year, which is for an Alabama fan, that's one of those kind of strange bedfellows deals. But now he's moved Justin Fields and the Buckeyes ahead of LSU.
Well, we're thinking alike because I'm going to tell you, Legend, that's my pick as the number 1 team in the country right now. Ohio State, they've got it all. Great defense. Terrific offense. Justin Fields has made a huge difference. Dobbins, a running back. Some great wide receivers. I'm telling you, I got them ahead of everybody. Am I wrong to think that way?
No, you're not, because this is the most complete team in the country. Chase Young is maybe the number 1 or number 2 pick in the NFL draft next year.
By the way, he's in the Heisman now. They got odds on him to win the Heisman.
I like it. I like it. Time for a defensive player to get in there. It really
sure is.
But I like Ohio State. I still have Alabama, Ohio State, and LSU all on that one line. Clemson on that 4th spot. We have said it repeatedly. College football is now an offensive game. Spread it out, score lots of points, and these 4 teams do it better than anybody in the country. I think they're the clear 4 best teams in the country, with Oklahoma taking the fall last week, Kip.
Yeah, and I notice you've got Utah in the poll. It's good to give the youth some love.
When you get down to that 9 and 10 spot, I tell you there's 10 or 15 teams you could throw in there.
Tell you what they do. They play some defense.
They sure do.
They sure do.
Pac-12 of all places.
I was going to say, you took the words right out of all places, the Pac-12, which is horrendous defensively overall in that league, but Utah is playing some great D.
Yeah, the other coaches are going, what's going on? This is not how it's supposed to be. So that's the top 10 this week, and there'll be some shakeups in the next couple.
Yes.
Let's talk about our in-state teams. Auburn is in action today. Alabama's off. The Tigers hosting Ole Miss. How do they bounce back from the LSU game? 18 points. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm going to let Herb talk on this because he is an Auburn man. He should go first on this one.
Well, I think, listen, Gus Malzahn, have nothing against him other than I have to question, like so many other people, the calls he makes. Yep. And, of course, now Joey Gatewood, the backup quarterback, got his feelings hurt because he didn't get in the game as much as he thought. He hadn't played much this year. Nope. Now they're down to Bo Nix and then a third teamer. That's not a good sign. If Bo Nix goes down, Auburn's in trouble. Auburn, again, I just don't Ole Miss defense is getting better. Matt Luke's trying to hang on to his job there at Ole Miss. I would say in this spot, Auburn, their dauber's going to be down a little bit. They're tough to beat at Jordan-Hare. I'd have to, if I were going to play it, which I'm not, I would take Ole Miss plus the AT.
What do you
I
think,
agree
Liz?
with Herb. I'm not going to play this game. It's a game I wouldn't play either. Auburn clearly has one of the best defenses in the country. The Gus Bus on the offense has just went off the road. It is a disaster. I'd take 18 points here if I was going to bet it. Auburn's got some real work to do on that offensive side, Kip.
But they got a great defense.
They do. They do. One of the finest defenses in the country.
No question.
We're a week away, so we'll spend a lot of time next week, of course, on the latest game of the century as LSU and Alabama play. But what are your guys' initial thoughts? You've got some good news on Tua, in case folks haven't heard it.
Yeah, Tua practiced yesterday. He looked good. It looks like we'll be having Tua behind center. I think win or lose this game, both of these teams are still in great position for the playoff. If whoever loses it runs it out, I think they'll make the playoff also.
We got to wrap and go to break. When we come back, we'll do some winner steak dinner and get you ready for today's games. Kip, the legend, and Herb right after this will return. Welcome back, everybody. It's Talking Sports on this Saturday. Big football day, Breeders' Cup. If you're just joining us, Herb hit some of the highlights of today's card. Big money-making opportunity. All of Herb's selections that he mentioned today and a complete preview of the Breeders' Cup is up right now on talkingsports.info if you want to check that out, and also on our Facebook page, which is Talking Sports. All right, fellas, we're to the third segment, Winner Steak Dinner, sponsored by Craneworks. I know it's a company you're familiar with, Herb. They've been a long-time sponsor of sports. We are honored to have them, and the legend, tell us a little bit about Craneworks.
Well, any heavy equipment needs you have, any kind of crane, you need any kind of equipment where you might be working on the outside or on anything heavy, call this company. They are the Nick Saban of the business world. They are fantastic. Craneworks, ladies and gentlemen.
And you love him because David Upton flies Nick Saban around in his
I
helicopter.
do, Herb. I do. Dave, I want to ride in that plane, baby.
That's right.
That ain't no plane. That's a beautiful helicopter. I'll tell you that.
Call the legend. Give him a call. All right, so we're going to get into Winner Steak Dinner, and our guest is going to be the guy to lead us off.
Let's do it. I love it.
We've got the this is a long legendary term in the Birmingham sports market. It's time for the Winch Cinch, and here's Herb Winches.
All right, my win cinch, I'm going to give you two picks. My first one is going to be the Wake Forest North Carolina State game. Here's the skinny on that. North Carolina State is down to a third-team quarterback. The coach has been very upset with the way his team has played. He's moved from number 1, 2 down to number 3. He's getting his first start at Wake Forest. Wake Forest, we know a couple of weeks ago, it was a big high-scoring game as they lost at home to the Louisville Cardinals, much improved under Satterfield. 52-49, or 62-59.
That's right. That's what it was, yeah.
62-59, but they lost their quarterback for a couple of weeks. Jamie is a really talented, Newman is his name. He's a talented junior, and guess what? He's healthy again. He injured his left shoulder. He's coming back. Should get the start tomorrow. But if he doesn't, Sam Hartman did a good job a week ago when they went up against Florida State. He carried them to victory 22-20 over Florida State, which I think is getting a little bit better too. Bottom line is, I think this is one of my best plays of the season. I like Wake Forest. Right now you can get it at 7, maybe 7.5, could go to 8, so jump on it when you can. I'll take Wake Forest by minus the 7. I got them winning by double digits, 34-21. My other pick, and anybody knows me knows I'm a huge Bill Clark fan, UAB. I love what he's done. One of the most incredible stories, 26-9 since they got back into business. They don't lose at Legion Field, but they're not playing at Legion Field. They're in Neyland Stadium. The thing that worries me about UAB here is they've had such a very, very soft schedule. There are several teams that they've beaten this year that have yet to win a game this season. So that disturbs me a little bit. The schedule's very soft. Tennessee, on the other hand, Tennessee has found their sea legs. Look what they did to South Carolina, beat them by 20 at Neyland Stadium. It doesn't matter to me if they go with Maurer or Garantano. I think this team has found itself. UAB is going to be tough. They're 0-4 in their history playing the University of Tennessee. I'm going to have to take the -11. I know I've given you two favorites, but of the two, I love Wake Forest, and I have a feeling that Tennessee's going to wear down UAB. They'll win it going away. I hate to pick against my buddy Bill Clark, but hey, we're talking money here.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
All right, Legend, you got a whole list here. You got the David Legend picks to kick off, and it starts with the Georgia-Florida game, which I need to get your guys' thoughts on, but you guys got the Gators.
Yeah, David Legend, he's been studying all week, and he's been on fire, ladies and gentlemen. He likes Florida +6 in this game, and I'm going to agree just because I think Henderson and Wilson, them corners, will lock Georgia's receivers down. Florida will put 8 in the box to stop the run. I look for this to be a field goal game. I look for Kansas State to blow out Kansas and Les Miles down there today. Take Florida, take Kansas. Winner, steak dinner right here at David Legend Parlay Special.
All right, run through your list real quick because we're running short on time.
All right, let's
you got your segmented plays.
All right, my early parlay, I like Liberty -21. I think they win this game by 30.
Liberty.
And I like Nebraska -2 against Purdue. I think they'll win this game by a touchdown or more. Take Liberty -21, Nebraska -2. Winner, steak dinner, early parlay. Midday parlay, I like Pitt to bounce back and destroy Georgia Tech after a tough loss last week. And I like Miami to beat Florida State head up today. I really
Right here
do.
on ABC.
Right here on ABC. I think 4 points is too much. Pitt -7.5. Miami +4. I know Herb's proud of me for taking a dog on my list. So.
I like a dog. That's why. Oh, look, you're going the other way.
I hate it too, Herb. You're my boyhood idol, and now I'm done win against you right here on this show. But
okay.
I do like UAB to cover the 10 today. I think they upset Tennessee. Legend calling the upset. And I like Oregon to beat USC bad today. This Oregon team is a team on the rise and a playoff contender. Take UAB, take Oregon. I'm going against Herb, and I hate it, but I'm going against him on that late.
Well, guarantees we're going to have a winner on the show.
Well, that's right. Somebody's going to win.
That's right.
You talk winner, steak dinner. You and I are going to bet a steak on this.
All right, let's do it.
I got the other side.
I got them 10 points, though.
Yeah, you got it.
Here's my couple of picks for the day, and I've gone to the two bottom feeders that I've played against all year and profited every week. Rutgers and Akron, the two worst teams on earth, and they're playing in tough spots today. Illinois is a team on the rise. Lovie Smith's got a good thing going there. They knocked off Wisconsin 2 weeks ago. So that's the list. We have one more segment to go. We'll be right back here on Talking Sports to wrap things up and get you ready for a big day. We just got a couple of minutes to wrap things up here. We've been honored to have Herb Winches, as always, the godfather of Birmingham sports in so many ways.
You're making me feel so old. Thank you so much.
But wisdom comes with that.
It does indeed.
So anyway, we're going to kind of wrap it up. I want to get your thoughts real quick, though, on the game of the day, Florida-Georgia, the cocktail party. Sorry, Greg Sankey, but people drink at college football games.
And pretty soon they're going to be, well, they can bet now because that's wide open. And then the next thing is they're finally going to play these athletes on their image and their likeness.
Finally.
It's about time. They need to make some of that money.
What are your thoughts on that game real quick?
My thoughts on that game, I think it's of course, it's a neutral site there in Jacksonville. Georgia, everybody is still stung by that South Carolina upset. I'm not. I'm a huge Kirby Smart fan. Again, I'm going the other way.
Oh, no, Herb and the Legend going one-on-one.
We're fighting it out here. Somebody's going to win a steak.
Yes, they are.
That's great. All right, we got a quick NFL pick from the Legend. I know you got your Colts over the Steelers. And Packers and Patriots, so you got some big names on that list.
Yeah, David Legend helped me with these this week. The Legend Brother Parlay of the Year in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. I like the Colts to beat the Steelers head up. I like the Packers to beat the Chargers by at least a touchdown. I'm not convinced that anybody can beat the Patriots in that defense. I'll take 60-year-old Tom Brady against anybody. Give me the Patriots, give me the Packers, give me the Colts. Legend Brothers Parlay of the Year in the NFL.
We got about 45 seconds to wrap everything up. Herb, tell them one more time about the excitement of the Breeders' Cup today.
Well, I think it's just one of the great days. Listen, the Triple Crown is what it is. I consider these the two greatest weekends in sports. The spring for the Triple Crown, and of course in the winter, closing out the season, getting ready for next spring. You're going to see, and yesterday you saw some great 2-year-olds in action. They're the superstars of tomorrow. We'll find out who's going to run in the Derby soon enough, but today is the big day. I love it. There's nothing better than the Breeders' Cup. Come on out and make some money.
We loved having Herb on. For Kip and the Legend and Herb Winches, we'll see you next Saturday.